So our next award is not a normal award we get. So I asked Jeremy if I could create an award, and he goes, "You're the president, you can do whatever you want." So it's called the NACD President's Appreciation of Service to Conservation. And I met the recipient of this award when I first started college, and I was at a fundraiser for a Quail Unlimited banquet in southern Indiana, and my dad said, "You should get to know this guy. You could get a job and possibly get some duck hunting." I quite literally started the next morning planting switchgrass on levees and eventually working my way through every bottom of the barrel crap job that you can have on a farm. And I was broke. I was dead broke, and quite literally I said, "Ray, I gotta move back home. I don't have enough money to afford my apartment." And he says, "Well, you can move into the barn." So I quite literally packed up my apartment that night, and the next morning I showed up for work and started unloading my stuff before work, and he goes, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I gotta move into the barn. You said I could do that." And he goes, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes, I don't have a place to live." So I eventually went from the barn to the chemical shed, literally. Tim Palmer says I had an atrazine pillow, so that's where this came from. So I lived with these two individuals for almost 5 years and worked my way up into the back of the office, to the front of the office, to the mud room, and then finally had my own room in the house. And I definitely have my love of conservation from this individual. And I can tell you he's a little more fiery than I am, but I have the same passion for conservation that he does. Most of you know who I'm talking about. I want to thank Ray McCormick for everything he's done, Ray and Cheryl. And this award goes tonight to Ray McCormick.
Well, as you can tell, Michael's like a son to me, and he's one of many Vincennes University students that came out to the farm, and all I wanted to do was to show him what it is to be out on the land, what it is to take care of the land. And I have had this passion that came from my grandfather and my father, like many of you, and now it's a curse because it's all I want to do every day, all day, is do the best I can and spread the word as much as possible. And Michael, thanks you for giving me one more opportunity to say that conserving the natural resources of this planet is one of the most important things that we can do, because we have little future without doing that. So thanks a lot, and thank you, Michael.
So for the President's Award, I had the honor of winning this award from my good friend Tim Palmer, so I know what it means. And I received it in my office in Washington State. So I want to thank you in person, Tim. I awarded this tonight to the President-elect Kim LaFleur last year for our partnership and friendship from the very second that we ran together. I I had narrowed this year's award down to many people because literally so many people deserve more and higher recognition for the work that they do for NACD. I can't name every finalist for lack of time, and I mean that. There were a ton of people. But some of the folks that I just want to thank, one of them is Jim Berlier. Jim has been my go-to problem solver for a long time. Jim and Vicki are true friends and of Gretchen and I did want to mention that Jim terrified all of us that were in this room 8 years ago. The last time we were here, Jim went down in a meeting, and I didn't think he was going to make it. And he did, and I'm very happy. So I can't see out there, wherever you're at, Jim, thank you. Wait. I wanted to mention Tom Wyrie from California. He worked tirelessly on our bylaws over the last year. Wade Troutman, mentor of mine. I can't see where anybody's at, but wherever you're at, Wade, thank you for everything. I was trumped by the Olin Sims Award, so congratulations, Wade. And when I start reading this, it's not going to be a surprise who this is for. But in the end, the candidate that I gave this honor to, it gave so much to me and to NACD, and he's not even a board member. He's an associate supervisor. I asked him to chair a pet project of mine a few years ago, and that was to clean up our policy book. And he has done that amazing job on that. He chaired our policy book task force. He also chaired our tribal task force, and he has done everything I've asked over the last 2 years, and I can't thank him any more than that. And this award goes to Larry Davis.
Thanks, Michael. I didn't see that coming. Because all I ever, and I've told him this before and others, that if I take on a job and all I ever expect, truly, is say thanks. You've said thank you, and this is way beyond the pale. With respect to the Policy Book Task Force, I thank the board and whoever was involved in approving that. I think yesterday, I also have a special kinship with Tom working on bylaws, because we may be the only two in the group that really get off on doing that stuff. And by the vote today and yesterday, I've always been about just improve the campsite. So you did that on both occasions. Mission accomplished. Thank you very much.